I grew up in a very small town, 1,000 people, farming community in Saskatchewan, which is above the Dakotas. And I feel very privileged that as a young girl growing up, parents who loved music, amateur performers, played accordion by mail order, that sort of thing. But, you know, a community that valued music and hockey above all else. And mostly I had a piano teacher who changed my life. She brought music to our town. My parents bought an old $400 piano. They tuned it once every 6 years, but it was my passion. I played piano all of the time, and as I grew up, I think growing up in a small town, you become very important to that community through your music. So I started playing organ in the local churches. It turned out to be more than one. If a funeral happened in our community, I left school to go and play for it. Weddings, and then we had a school music program, which was really very ingrained in our culture, and every kid was a part of this band program. We marched in the spring and summer, and people would come out on their doorsteps to hear us play. Music education for young people is a big passion of mine, knowing my own background. I started off thinking I was going to go to Carnegie Hall as a piano player, and honestly, I had no experience with orchestras because I didn't grow up anywhere near an orchestra. My first experience hearing an orchestra was at the age of 16 when I traveled a 3-hour journey to go. So my undergrad was at the University of Saskatchewan, and I studied music education, and I also studied piano performance. But along the way, I discovered that conducting was actually something that I didn't know about myself, but was in there. I feel like I transformed from the person I've just described to you to my next self, the conductor self, when I went to a conducting program in the summers, and I met my future teacher at the University of Michigan. I'm always trying to find ways to connect people to the music. I feel that there is a desire by people to not necessarily know about the music, but more just to understand, and for me to be able to share with them what the meaning of the music is, or how it might impact us, or how even musicians perform, what goes into being a performing musician, or even the impact of music on children. All of these topics are things that I have explored through my writing, and I love it because I feel like I'm a creator. I feel like I'm composing words that somehow come out of the air into my mind, and I put them on paper, and it feels really wonderful to be able to share ideas, and most especially to share ideas about music with people. So I think a music director's position is to provide leadership and inspiration to an orchestra to play at its very best, to communicate and be involved with the audience that's there, but very, very importantly, to be a visionary for what it means to have the arts within a community, to have ideas to connect to the community itself, and to find ways for music to impact the people in a community in the way that they understand their community, so that it has a sense that it really is a part of their lives, that it's not from another place or another time, but actually something that's really right now, very vibrant, very important. And so I think as a music director, I would want to be here investing in whatever that artistic landscape is for this community, and how it might change and move and inspire the community. Well, I have had the privilege of being in this area conducting before. I've conducted in Elgin and in Chicago area. And so when I heard that the Rockford Symphony was looking for a music director, first of all, I knew that I would like the people, but also I was inspired by the fact that Stephen Larson had been here for 30 years. And when I hear that there's a music director that's invested in a community for 30 years, I know that this is an orchestra that's been in fabulous hands, and that a community is very much connected to music through a long and fruitful involvement with their music director and their orchestra. So on that level alone, I knew it was a good place to apply.